Audio check 4, 3, 2, 5. Hey guys, AJ Town here, live with the T Storm Chasers, ready to bring you the latest weather information as we start to look at some of these storms that are pushing across the area, both severe weather type situation and a winter system that is pushing through the area as well. So we're going to be looking at... You're going to hear an echo there for a few minutes, and I certainly do apologize. But anyways, we want to always make sure our streams are working correctly, so I watch it on my phone, different provider, everything like that, so then I know things are working for you guys. So anyways, as we jump into this, we're going to definitely break down the severe weather risk that is going to be moving across the area tonight and into tomorrow, more into the Iowa area. We'll jump into that right away as we look at the storm prediction. Sorry, I lost audio there. As we are looking at this, we are seeing this as a deja vu, Groundhog Day and everything repeat there, as we are seeing this system recreate every potential coming into the area coming today. As we take a closer look, let's take a closer look at this as well. As we zoom in here, we do see that area does impact the Waterloo, the Cedar Rapids, Davenport, Ottawa, and Burlington area there. Again, these are the same area that they had massive tornado outbreak come across the area. Which, speaking of a tornado outbreak, this is what they are looking at as far as that tornado outbreak is concerned. They are looking at a 15%. Now, keep in mind, folks, when we had ours in the Sioux Falls area, we were at a 2% risk is all. So definitely going to have that potential coming in. As we take a closer look at that area, that does include that area that was in red. Waterloo, Cedar Rapids, Davenport, Burlington, just extreme eastern portion, east of the I-35 corridor. And we're going to time this out to see when this is moving through. Now, their main threat, too, is also hail with this system right in that same area. As we take a closer look here at that as well, you can see that area is included as well. Now, one thing we want to mention here, also damaging winds is going to be a factor. Sorry there. Damaging winds is going to... Sorry, reading. I'm going to skip it, Brandon, just to kind of save my breath and humiliation on that. So anyways, we do have the wind threat that is going to be pushing through. And you will see why when we jump into the latest HRRR model run, and you're going to see Futurecast there, that it's going to really break it down and come into a linear system that's going to move across the area. Now, as we take a quick look too here, the area there actually does include a little bit of the Omaha area. You can see it closer there that it does include the Omaha area, and further northeastward there, I believe that's Highway 75. Don't quote me on that, and I certainly do apologize if I am incorrect. It does impact areas like Storm Lake, Iowa, Fort Dodge, Iowa. You can see they have that risk, and we will jump into that here in just a minute. Now, another thing we want to mention here coming into tomorrow, that same area that was somewhat underneath the gun is going to be a repeat. So we're looking at Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, and Illinois is going to be under that gun too. As we come into tomorrow, they have a tornado risk out there as well, and that is actually a pretty big tornado risk for already for today coming into tomorrow. So as many of you want to know, what is the status of this? What are we looking at, and when is this going to move into the area? For some reason, my map's not working, so let me switch that. There we go. Anyways, we're going to start things off here at 21 Zulu, so that's going to be roughly about that 4 o'clock time frame. We do see the rain sticking through the area, some ice accumulation possible through the overnight. We're looking at maybe a dusting to about an inch for the Sioux Falls area of snow. You can see that linear system right through here, how that forms that line and continues to progress its way eastward. As we do continue to watch this system here, that will push off eastward and into further east as it goes. Good news is we're not looking at much of another system, maybe just a little clipper system there Sunday into Monday for rain, but we're not looking much of another precipitation system coming in through the rest of the week. So speaking of rest of the week, let's take a quick look at your 7-day forecast. Oh, I'm lying. I don't have that tab. Oh, there it is. 7-day. There we go. There is a look at your 7-day. Look at that, folks. It's going to be gorgeous coming into this weekend as we are looking at Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday into the 60s for this weekend. So definitely going to be some warmer weather that is pushing through the area. Now back to our pivotal or our future cast here. So as we come into, again, right about that 15 Zulu, so that's going to be about 10 o'clock. We'll go to the lunch hour here at 18 Zulu. That's going to be about 1 o'clock here. We do see some of that mixed precipitation pushing through the area. And rain pushing through as well. We have seen the rain stick around. And as you can see here on this latest model, good news is this moves out of the area by Wednesday around lunchtime and completely out of the area. And look at this, folks. We are not seeing moisture except for maybe a little clipper system in Iowa here coming through on Sunday. Otherwise, whoops. Gotta love it when that happens. Otherwise, we're not looking at a major system or anything for the rest of the week and into next week, 240 hours out. So this is a 10-day look at this. Now, as I mentioned, severe weather risk. What are we looking at? What are we talking about? Look at these severe weather risk. Now, the darker or the lighter they go, we're looking at white. If you see the white there, that means it's really high risk. You can see just a little bit of a high risk there. You can see over in Davenport, Iowa area into Illinois, Wisconsin area there as well. Now, as I did mention, we're going to see this become a linear system and push its way eastward, and that's what we do expect going into the overnight hours and into tomorrow. Good news is, folks, again, we don't have any severe weather for the rest of the 10-day forecast here either. Now, tornado risk. Definitely going to be a tornado risk today. And as I did mention here, that's going to be about the same area that's already been impacted by tornadoes that moved through that area a couple of days ago. We are going to see, unfortunately, that system get impacted again. What are we looking at for quick snow totals here, folks? As we go through the day today and into tomorrow, we are looking again about a dusting to about an inch for the Sioux Falls area. Not expecting much of accumulation. Further north you go, the higher the accumulation. Definitely further west you go, you get that higher accumulation, where some areas will receive up to a foot of snow on top of what's already fallen for much of that area as well. As we take a quick look at your latest advisories in reference to that as well. Let me get my advisories up here. As we take a look at these advisories, We are looking at blizzard warning for the area there in that tannish color. As we look at this area here, we are looking at that winter storm warning for that area as well. Now we have a winter weather advisory that is in effect too for those areas in green. Does not include Sioux Falls, Minnehaha County. Does include areas to the north and to the west. We do have that flash or that flood warning for in effect for the Crooks area for Willow Creek. But otherwise, we are not seeing anything else knocking on our door. Knocking on our door. There you go. I got my sound effect to work. Anyways, we are going to really jump into things here and see what we are looking at. Let's get the latest from the National Weather Service as well as we take a quick reminder here. What does a severe thunderstorm criteria meet? 1 inch in diameter, winds 58 or higher, and tornadoes. As we look at their spring storm that is moving through the area, again, we are looking at that glazing of ice through the Sioux Falls area. In areas to the west and to the north, we're looking at a greater total, as we do see snow total is going to be higher to the west of us there and to the north. As we do look at the precipitation outlook here from the National Weather Service, you can see a wintry mix come in through the morning. We saw that come through. Good news is we're looking at rain, and then overnight we're looking at maybe just a small chance of some winter weather moving through. Winds is going to be definitely your next thing that we are looking at, and I did not have that loaded. Give me just a quick second here. One quick second here as I do something here. All right, there you go. Anyways, as we talk about these winds that are moving through the area, we are going to definitely see some higher winds come through. You can see there on Wednesday is going to be where that primary threat of high winds pushing through. Jumping back now into the beginning here, as we come into let's jump into our radar scope program here. We can see the rain showers pushing through the area there. We do have... There you go. Sorry, I couldn't get it changed. We do have some rain pushing through the area. Some snow further northward. Now, we do expect to see that stick around as well. Let's take a quick look at your temperatures across the area. As we take a look at those temps across the area, you can see that, as you can see, as we take a quick look at those temps across the area, those temps are a little on the cool side for this time of year. But good news is, folks, as we did mention, remember that 7-day forecast where we saw those 60-degree weather? I know. 60-degree weather is what we are looking at. I, too, am happy because that does mean we're getting into severe weather time. But as we continue to take a quick look here, give me a second. I'm trying to get one thing loaded here. It's not loading right. Let's take a quick look at Futurecast is what I'm trying to get loaded here for you guys. I do apologize here. All right, we'll get Futurecast loaded. We'll jump into that and see what we are looking at. As we want to jump into things here, let's take a quick look at your road reports across the area as well. As we come into your road reports, you can see through the Sioux Falls area there, road conditions are still wet. Further even out into the country there, we are looking at that. Good news is, though, for Iowa, all clear, green, and ready to go. I know. I'm excited to see some of this as well. Then as we come into Minnesota, we are looking at some road conditions that are going to be a little deteriorated through that neck of the woods. And then as we come into South Dakota, on the other hand, folks, there are no travel advisories issued. Would not be surprised to see this interstate shut down later tonight as we go into the overnight hours. So if you do have to travel, definitely travel at this time. I would not wait much longer to get out on the roads if you absolutely have to. Now, we are not encouraging travel. I just want to mention that. We are encouraging you guys to adhere and do the no travel advisory. Further west we go, we are looking at wet road conditions in the Sioux Falls immediate area. And then further north you go on I-29, you're looking at that scattered ice and slippery conditions. And then as you go back further west of the Mitchell area there, you're looking at, again, that scattered advisories and everything as well. As we take a look at your Nebraska 511, we are seeing some conditions where roads are poor, and we are seeing some areas that are closed as well with that. But again, we are looking at some fantastic weather for your 7-day forecast. Again, as we take a quick look at that, folks. 60-degree weather for the weekend. 60-degree weather. I know. I'm so excited as well to see that. As we take a quick look at your precipitation outlook for the 11th through the 17th, we are seeing that we are going to see that continuous warm-up for our normal time. So that means it's going to be above normal for this time of year, more so than below normal, which is what we currently have been experiencing. Unfortunately, though, folks, we are looking at a dry portion of the middle of the month. So definitely we are going to take all the moisture that we can certainly get. As we take a quick look at power outages across the nation, good news is we're not looking much for any of the areas here in the immediate Sioux Falls area. We do see 196 customers in South Dakota are without power. We'll zoom in here on that, get that loaded if it decides to load for me. We do see here Davison County is tracking about 173 people are without power. As we continue back into Minnesota, there's 430 customers without power. Let's see for that. We'll zoom in here for me as well. Unfortunately, we don't have any ETA on getting that back as far as timing of when power is going to come back. We're waiting on this map to load. If this information, there it goes. So we do see that Pipestone has about 8 without power. Not much more being tracked within our main coverage area. So, again, let's jump back to our WSV3 here, get that loaded, and we'll look at the timing of this severe weather. We'll look at the snow system and figure out when this is coming through. And for some reason, there it goes. All right, we got that fixed. As we are mentioning here, again, we are seeing some of the severe weather out west or out east, but we are talking about the snow. Good news is as we come through the day here, we are going to start at about that 1 o'clock time frame. We do see some of the mixed precipitation sticking around. I'm not expecting a large accumulation with this. It's going to be more of that rain-based system and then that snow as well. I'm focusing right now on the South Dakota area, but as we go into the morning time there, about that 4 o'clock, we finally see things progressing and out of the area. Now let's jump over here where we are looking at that severe weather risk pushing through the area. We'll start things here about that 3 o'clock when we start to expect to see the initiation of storms right about that 4 o'clock time frame there west of Des Moines. You see that about that 5 o'clock I-35 corridor is what we are looking at, seeing some of those thunderstorms with this as well. So we are definitely going to see some of that thunderstorm activity increasing as we go into the evening. And then right about that 6 o'clock time frame, that's when we really expect that severe weather risk for the Des Moines area is going to be right about that 6 o'clock time frame. Then as we go into 7 o'clock, we do see cells that are continuing to grow. And watch this, folks. Look at that scattered storms that are pushing across the area. And most likely we will see those become that severe weather. So definitely something to keep in mind is the severe weather that we will be seeing across Iowa into Wisconsin, into Illinois. Then as we do continue to go into the overnight hours, we are going to see this become a linear system, which means that the main threat is going to be winds with this, but there is still going to be that possibility of seeing some thunderstorms that are going to be severe. So definitely something to keep in mind is going to be this bow echo effect that we are seeing that is going to be continuing to progress its way eastward. Now this is why that day 2, as you do remember, that day 2 that we looked at was going to be issued because of this linear line that is progressing through the area as well. Would not surprise, yes, again, Brandon, a derecho is going to most likely occur with this. As we want to take a look here at the latest radar, let's get this out of here. We do have severe thunderstorm warning and alerts out as well, as that is continuing to move its way into the Chicago area. Let me jump over to that. So here is the latest track. Now these are just storms that are firing in front of that low pressure system that is moving across the area. Now this is just your isolated, more of a severe thunderstorm risk. These aren't going to produce that tornadic event that we are going to be seeing. That's going to come later, and that's going to become more of a dominant system and more of a severe system, where we saw the large tornado outbreak. I believe it was Friday that we saw that occur. We are definitely looking at another repeat of that on Friday as well. So we are definitely going to be seeing some of that severe weather push across the area. We are definitely going to continue to monitor things. In fact, if it starts to impact the Iowa area, we're going to go live and we're going to start bringing it to you guys. So stay tuned with the T-Storm Chasers as we continue to monitor not only the latest snow system that is progressing through the area, but we are going to actually continue to monitor the severe weather risk that is out there, and we are going to continue to watch things pretty closely in the next 12 hours. I want to thank everybody for joining me. This is AJ Town live with the T-Storm Chasers, and we will again continue to monitor things as well. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. I greatly appreciate that. You have yourself a fantastic day and continue to follow